Hi, I'm running some errands today. It's a busy day, so let's talk about day 10. Question 1. So what we're looking for here is a plant that is a shade of yellow and is also a Crayola crayon. If you grew up using Crayola crayons, then you've got an edge on people who didn't, but I get the feeling Crayola crayons are as close to part of the monoculture as anything. The only two yellow crayons I could think of off the top of my head were banana and goldenrod, both of which are plants, but only one of which is there. I briefly considered sienna just as a possibility because it's kind of it's brown with a bit of yellow in it. Make sure I'm making this light. Yeah, I checked with my British wife and she was like, yeah, no, goldenrod is a thing in British Crayola as well. I know that there are differences, but goldenrod was a given in both directions. So there you go. Question 2. Yeah, if I had a dime for every time I've asked a question about this band, Chisholm, Bunton, Adams, Halliwell, the missing person is the extremely racistly named Scary Spice. She was scary. Why? She was I mean, it worked out for her. She got paid, and as Bill continued to build a solid career out of it. And fair play on Melanie Brown, but Brown is the answer. I got the question 2 and thought, are they gonna all be colors? Is there gonna be like a sub theme in this? That's a thing that has happened, but it's not the norm. This question made me think of 2 things. One, all the different ways I've tried to complete the list of these Spice Girls, and then also it made me think of Marvin Lee a day, aka Meatloaf, and his 2 greatest roles in the Rocky Horror Picture Show and as the driver in the movie Spice World. Pour one out for the loaf. Pinch a loaf for the loaf. Question 3. You know, 2002 was a long time ago, and you start thinking about titular movie pairs, and there's so many pairs of things that are entitled. It's a naming convention that is popularly used. You know, whatever, Hobbs and Shaw, Alien versus Predator, Kramer versus Kramer. None of which, well, I don't know. That'd be funny if Barador and Orthanc were actually also somehow fit in Kramer versus Kramer. But if you knew anything about Tolkien and were able to pull the 2 towers, well, fair play to you. I did not. Seriously, Hobbs and Shaw seems so plausible. Question 4. That's a powerhouse list of actors, isn't it? I'm sure the first thought of more than just me was, well, Willie Loman is Death of a Salesman, so it's somebody else. So you're thinking great American play with a powerhouse male lead character, well-written male character that's been mounted on Broadway, presumably many times. That narrows it down quite a bit if you're not talking Death of a Salesman. Think of another great American play. If you know a thing or two about theater, that might help. Yeah, Hickman. Hickey Hickman is the Iceman Cometh. It's Eugene O'Neill. I guess the wrong Eugene O'Neill play. I felt really good putting down Long Day's Journey into Night. It's not right, but I felt good putting it down. And the Iceman Cometh is legitimately like a great 20th century play. I mean, Eugene O'Neill did win the Nobel Prize for Literature for his playwriting. Also, he thoroughly disapproved of his daughter marrying Charlie Chaplin, which, that's fair. Question 5. Question 5 is a bit more of a trivia question. It's one of those things that you learn when you're first starting out. It can be in your first trivia book. Thorson has left out a crucial word, the word Earl. John Montague was the Earl of Sandwich. And you learn that very early on. It's just like, where did the word sandwich come from? And it turns out that, yeah, Sandwich was the name of, is the name of a town in Kent that had an earldom. And there was a guy named John Montague who came up with the idea, or at least pitched the idea to a servant, of putting some meat on some bread, and from there on, they decided to call it a sandwich. Where am I going? Why is an English Earl being credited with inventing such a fundamental piece of food stuff? Well, you know, that's just how it is. I literally just walked right past the stop I was supposed to get on because I was busy talking to you. I hope you're happy. No, seriously, I hope you're happy. Last question. Okay, 3 hints stuck out in this question. So there's Marion Tinsley, who is the greatest ever at this. There's the Chinook program that solved it. And there's the fact that this is a game that has a different name in the UK and in the US. So those are your big 3 hints. And you can toss those around and kind of tumble them around a little bit and stack them in different ways. And the list of games that that's possible for is quite low. You're looking at either like backgammon or checkers, draft. So if you know that checkers and drafts are the same game, just said differently in different sides of the Atlantic, then you know the answer and you got there. If not, it might take you a while, but you might be able to process of elimination this out as what board games don't fit one of these three things. You know it's not chess because Marion Tinsley is not Bobby Fischer or Gary Kasparov or Boris Spassky or Magnus Carlsen or any of the other famous chess people. There's a lot of famous chess people. And also, Chinook is not Deep Blue, which is kind of the most famous chess computer that was the first chess computer to beat the top players. It's not Watson, because that's Jeopardy. And so Chinook would be another one. There you go. It's always good to have big lists of things that have something in common. That's a good thing to remember. So add Chinook to the list of computer programs that have solved long unsolvable games. And I think I finally made it to my station, which means I can go renew my ID NYC card, because that's what I'm off doing right now. Getting back on the beam. See you tomorrow.